What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, OTB Nation? Welcome into episode number 248 of the allegedly award-nominated, number 9 ranked NCAA and Shrek-ranked official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. And y'all already know it's viewable on YouTube. It's KB and Deej coming at you with another NLL season preview. For the real sickos, you know how we're breaking this down. It's the classic old-school North Division this week. I know it doesn't exist right now. But we're breaking the East up into two parts. So this week it will be the defending East champion Buffalo Bandits, the Toronto Rock, the Halifax Thunderbirds, and the Rochester Nighthawks. Next week will be on the eve of NLL action. We'll have the Wings, the Riptide, the Firewater Dog Wolf Lacrosse Club Whipsnake, and the Georgia Swarm. But we got that. We got championship series information to break down, and then we might have something to break that up in the middle. You'll see. That's why you got to stick around, especially if you're watching on YouTube. So before we get started, make sure you guys are following us on the socials, on Twitter for the time being. Hopefully for the foreseeable future, but at OTB Laxpod, Twitter and Instagram. Follow Deej on Twitter for now at SCS_NextGreat. Follow me for now on Twitter at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. It really goes a long way with you guys leaving 5-star reviews and ratings on the podcast feed. Helps us continue to grow. Makes it look good for the old advertisers so we can take this show to the next level, and Deej and I can turn this into our full-blown careers. And it also really does that if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. You can type that in your URL or just search Underground Sports Philadelphia if you're on the app. Subscribe. Smash that like button, ring the bell icon, comment down below your thoughts on our breakdown for the North Division, quote unquote, your championship series thoughts, and we're at 311 subscribers right now. We need to get to 1,000. I think by the end of 2022 we can get to 400. I think it's doable. Subscribe to the YouTube. It really goes a long way. We got a lot of YouTube content coming very, very soon. If you guys missed last week's episode, we're doing our own version of the Manning Cast. Deej and I in studio watching Wings Halifax with you. It's going to be a doozy of a time. It's going to be on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And, of course, shout out to our amazing merch partners, PHI Apparel Company. OTB logo merch is live. Merch is officially back. It happened right before DJ and I started recording tonight. It was happening while I was recording Streamer Season. But Outside the Box is brought to you by PHI Apparel Company, who provide unique designs and high-quality clothing for the great fans of Philly and OTB. With their original designs for all, there's no doubt you'll stand out in the crowd. Guys, Cyber Monday and Black Friday is literally next week. Get a jump start on the shopping. Get all your people OTB shirts for the holiday season. You guys can also use our code UNDERGROUND at checkout for 10% off any apparel when you shop online at phiapparel.co. That's phiapparel.co, and use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off. OTB merch is back, ladies and gentlemen. But Deej, what's popping, brother?
Other than the boatload of snow that's outside,
Say it ain't snow.
man, I'm doing A-okay, to be honest.
I'm doing A-okay too, because we've got another NLL season preview. And it is, in fact,
Under a minute left, we've got a transition play. Weiss in behind. Scores! Nick Weiss.
Give him 4. Sticking with what works, and how does he even find a hole here behind Doug Jamieson? Doug Jamieson knows this is coming. He's a smart goaltender. He's ended up hugging this left pipe, and look at that. Like,
And now switches hands. He scores! Eric Bennett in overtime. Oh! They got to charge extra for this, BG.
Woodsy, the reserve goalie coming out. That is not now Dougie Jamison's out
Wow,
there.
this has got
He's
to be
watching.
a first. This has got to be a first.
Oh my goodness, Ethan Woods giving Hartley a piece of his mind.
Right. You don't need to go UFC. You got it right. Look at this. Oh!
the old school North Division for the real sickos out there. It includes, like we said, the Buffalo Bandits, Toronto Rock, Halifax Thunderbirds, Rochester Nighthawks. A lot of change with these 4 teams. Lots to break down. We're going to do just like we did last week with the West. We're going to go through each team, give our month-by-month record prediction, our overall record prediction, and a team MVP. Let's dive right into it. Our North Division preview, it's brought to you by our friends at Kenwood Beer. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the all-new and improved Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. You got to be 21 or older to do so, and of course, please drink responsibly. It's the official beer of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Deej, the Buffalo Bandits. Let's start with the defending Eastern Conference champions. The chaotic Bandits, playing lacrosse pretty much year-round because of how fucking good they are. Running it back for the most part. Outside of one guy who is still not signed right now. The one and only friend of the program, Dane Smith. The MVP still has not signed.
Yep.
You and I, with a very trusted source, know the reason as to why Dane is not signed yet. We are not going to disclose that because we are not... We're men of honor, if you will.
Yes.
But all of that is to say, get it trending on Twitter while Twitter's still a thing. Hashtag pay Dane.
Yes. Hashtag pay Dane. Hashtag PAY. Hashtag capital P A Y. Or capital D HANE. Pay Dane.
Pay the man.
Pay Dane.
Pay the man his money. He's the
Claim
MVP. Like, come on. You can't be messing around with the MVP.
The man set a record this year by breaking his own record.
He's insane. Pay Dane. They did pay the boy, Ian McKay, this week. Shout out to Ian getting that new contract. But the Buffalo Bandits have been a perennial contender for quite some time now, running it back with a majority of the team they had last year, which should come as no surprise because they were fucking good last year. Don't know if they brought in any big name free agents, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't think so. But, you know, you get another year of Tahoka on this team. You run it back with the chaotic Bandits. David Brock now on this. David Brock was one of their big signings, I'm pretty sure, because I think he was with Halifax last year. But, I mean, this team is just, they're locked and loaded, and I think they're just they're poised for another year of contending to go to the NLL Cup and NLL Finals and compete for a championship. I mean, there's not much else to say about this team other than they're really fucking good. And it's absurd how good they are.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's one of those cases where you don't understand how a team can continuously be this good, even though they're playing year-round and they know each other, and they have all the pieces to be this good. Just the fact that they do it year in and year out is the part that blows everybody's mind. I am a tad concerned this year, though, because I do think it's starting to catch up with them. We saw it during the PLL season. It took them a while to get used to, field again. But granted, they do have a little bit longer rest period in between PLL and NLL.
Some of them do, because some of these guys were at World Games training camp and everything for Team USA, Team Canada.
But I mean, that was what, a week, maybe.
Still, for those guys that have been playing, it still adds to that mileage.
I get what you're saying, but that's not. Even when these guys are resting, they're still working out and taking shots and reps. So I don't see that training camp as anything other than that. It's not. And a lot of the guys that are on a team like Buffalo in reference, they're going to that training camp simply because they have to. You can't make the roster if you don't go to training camp, but their spot is solidified. They go there, they show up, they do enough to make sure they don't lose their spot or get hurt. So they're more so in that position. So it's the way I'm looking at it is they've had, a month and a half to rest in between the end of PLL and the start of training camp versus, jumping right into PLL after getting done with NLL. So I think that may help a little bit, but I am still worried with, how much they have in the tank and how much they can continue to go year round like this.
Yeah, that is going to be a concern. We'll see how it, plays out for them. And their month of December, let's jump right into it. Their month of December is not easy. They kick things off Saturday, December 3rd. They have 3 games in the month of December. They're at home to kick things off, unlike the defending champs. It's a battle of upstate New York, though, Deej, in that opening weekend. Albany against Buffalo. Very interesting here. Albany listed on Buffalo's schedule as Albany Firewolves LC. I think they adopted that for the Water Dogs. But this is pretty fucking cool from a PLL fan perspective. Hella Water Dogs versus hella Chaos. So that's the first matchup for these two teams. Then Saturday, December 17th, the Bandits on the road against heated rival Toronto at I don't know what venue, because I don't know if you saw that story that the Lax Mag posted this week.
I did.
The First Ontario Center is under hella construction right now, and Toronto is scrambling to find a venue to play in. What a mess. But Albany at home, on the road against Toronto.
Well, from what I read and understand is they aren't really scrambling. More so they are kind of just trying to figure out what is best in terms of seating and just maximum capacity.
I should say they're scrambling in terms of how quickly they have to figure it out.
Well, from what I gather from that is they have about 2 or 3 spots that they're looking at, and they just need to say, okay, this is the one. It's I think more so they thought they had more time than they had, and now they're a little pinched. But I wouldn't say. I don't want people to get the wrong idea of scramble when we say that.
Fair.
Is they're more so pinched for time and need to.
And I think it's more scrambling on the business side to
Yeah.
figure that out, because then you have to get that info out to ticketing people and parking and venue and all that kind of stuff, and get fans to this new arena that you're going to be playing in for.
They're more so time pinched. They're in a serious time crunch because they knew and they had been looking and they found their places. They just weren't able to solidify anything yet. So now that timeline has been accelerated to a max.
Mm-hmm. So they're on the road against Toronto somewhere. And then they are back home on New Year's Eve against Halifax. So their month of December, Albany, Toronto, Halifax. not the easiest of schedules. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Buffalo goes 2-1.
I'm going out on the other limb and have them going 1-2. I had them.
Who my loss is against is to be determined.
See, I had them losing the first 2 of the year wildly, even off the rest and everything. I think that Albany team is going to come out firing. A lot of those Water Dogs guys are still fired up. They have Joseph Nardella, who, I mean, no matter what kind of lacrosse you're playing, he's going to be a very key player. They still possibly have Brad Smith and, a few other odd end pieces here and there. So I think they, could have enough there. And then Toronto is just a machine. And they've been a machine. They just haven't been able to get it done in the playoffs. But I don't think Halifax has anywhere near enough. We've talked about them quite a few times in terms of the moves they made at the end of last year and not quite doing enough in our terms during free agency. So I think that's where they get their one win of the month.
So in the month of January, kickoff 2023, they have 4 games. They are at Georgia, and then home against Georgia, and then at Rochester, and then at Philly. Another tough stretch there. 3 teams. Georgia's going to be tough. It's tough to play, tough to play there. Unless you're the Wings, and it's always an 11-10 game one way or another. But 2 games against Georgia, then they're at Rochester, and then they're at Philly.
I think they split with Georgia and beat Rochester and lose to Philly, so 2-2.
I'm going to go 2-2 as well. Again, I don't know who my losses are against. But to your credit there, the Wings do play Buffalo really well. Whether they win or lose, they play them tough. They play them well. It's a good matchup for both sides. So I'm intrigued by that matchup, and I'm glad it's at the Farg. I'm sorry. They also have another game in January. They have a back-to-back with that Wings game. They're at Philly, and then they're at New York.
I think they'll beat the Riptide that next night.
I'll say 3-2 as well.
Those Georgia games would be interesting, though.
Yeah.
As they're running rookie goaltender, no matter what. Did you see their Bonnie boys? They both went to St. Bonaventure, so that'll be an interesting dynamic, though. Like, there's nothing for a goaltender like, his backups or his backup in this scenario. So for them to have that connection going back to college is going to be really huge. They're going to be able to really be there for each other and really, be supportive and have each other's back, because that's huge. You let up a few and you start getting in your own head. It's hard to pull yourself out. But to have another goalie that knows you beyond the game, because you guys were roommates and classmates and spent that time in college, is literally it's huge.
And they were roommates. 2 games in February for the Bandits, both at home against Rochester and against Philly.
I think I got to split these, and I got to go to flip-flop. I think they beat Philly but lose to Rochester.
I'm going to say 1-1 as well. I don't know where the loss will come, because you and I both agree Rochester is much improved in a lot of areas, but we'll see how that transpires. Here's their month of March. At Halifax, home against Halifax. Then we get our NLL Finals rematch, home against Colorado. Then they are on the road at the San Diego Super Seals. So 2 against Halifax, home against Colorado, and then at San Diego.
I'm going to go 3-1 this month.
I'm going 2-2.
I think they drop to Colorado.
I think they'll lose to Colorado, and I think they might lose that game against San Diego.
Ooh.
Being that it's
Really?
at San Diego, the travel across country. That San Diego team is dummy loaded.
They are, but see, I'm banking on them coming out hot after losing to Colorado again.
So we'll see how that goes down.
That Colorado game kind of depends on a lot.
And I mean, Halifax, it's tough to beat a team twice in a month.
Yeah,
We'll see how
and
that
then
goes.
that'll be the third time. You're right. And if they beat them in December, like I'm expecting them to, I'm calling for a sweep at that point, which is uberly hard.
Yeah. And then their month of April, they are at Toronto, home against the Riptide, at Toronto again, and then at Albany.
This is pretty much just like December with no Halifax or January or whatever. Shit. I have to go 2-2 again.
I'm going to say 3-1 because I think they're going to need to really win one of them for seeding purposes. But I think we have the same record for the Buffalo Bandits. You have 1, 4, 5, 8, 10, and I have 2, 5, 6, 8. I have them 11 and 7. You have them 10 and 8.
Pretty close.
Which, I mean, should still get you in the playoffs one way or another. But, I mean, like we said, this continuous playing is going to potentially catch up with them. You got to account for that. Deej, your team MVP for the Buffalo Bandits.
I mean, it's got to be the man. Whoa, well, assuming that they
You got to pay the man.
Assuming that they pay the man, it's the man Dane. But if they don't, maybe Priola or Vince. It's tough. Like, you literally could go through a plethora of options. Like, they're probably the hardest team. Them and the Seals are probably the hardest team to pick an actual MVP for.
I'm doing this so he can't get me again, but I think he's poised for a big season NLL-wise, and I'm very excited to watch him play this year. The motherfucking homie, number 95, Chase Frazier. I think people have slept on him for so long. We were first on that hype train even before DJ was co-hosting with me, saying Chase Frazier was going to be a marketable superstar in the sport of lacrosse. Look where we are now. Shout out to GM Josh Byrne. Shout out to Andy Towers. Shout out to Buffalo. And shout out to us. Shout out to the boy, because we know you're listening. That is the Buffalo Bandits. Moving on to another team that made the postseason last year in the old school North, the Toronto Rock. Lots of additions to this team this offseason. Corey Small now in the fold. They also brought in Stephen Keogh, the boy. Shout out. Looking here at their roster, just in case I'm forgetting anybody. They did trade Rob Hellier to Las Vegas. That's a big loss for them, but I think they'll be able to recover there. Another year of TD Ireland at the stripe. Another year of Zach Mans, who just got re-upped on a 3-year contract, I believe, recently. Dangerous Dan Dawson is back. Chris Corbeil is also on this team now, going to Toronto from Saskatchewan. You obviously have, Tom Schreiber, Challen Rogers, Nick Rose, Adam J. This team talented top to bottom. They got the boy Pineapple Express, Latrell Treasy Harris. Toronto's just one of those teams that's always there. They are like the they're like prototypical like Baltimore Ravens. They're always in the playoffs. They always make noise. Like they're always in the mix to compete for a championship. That's how I kind of view the Toronto Rock. Like they're always going to be there. Like you can almost like always pencil them in to
like
be in the
Ohio
postseason.
State. Like they're going to be there, but they're not going to win it.
But Toronto has a chance to always win it.
Oh yeah, Ohio State always has a chance to win the national championship.
See, I don't know if they always do.
They always have a chance to win it in football. Even as a Michigan fan, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Anytime they get into the playoffs, they could absolutely win it. But then they just blow it.
I view Toronto as, like I said, the Baltimore Ravens, or like in baseball, like the St. Louis Cardinals. Like they're like they have like that standard about them as an organization, and they're just always like in the mix. And like they're guys too. Like they are Toronto Rock guys.
I would say that about the one franchise I like.
I was gonna say that, but they're in kind of turmoil right now. So
more than turmoil. I am in physical turmoil about it.
What did you make of Toronto's offseason, Deej? Because they made a lot of moves, they made a lot of change, subtractions and additions. I like all of them.
Yeah, I thought it was an extremely well done job by them in terms of offseason. Like it's always hard to know you have all of the pieces and the right pieces. Or I wouldn't necessarily you have all the pieces, and because you're consistently making it to semis or conference finals, and being one game away, or just not having enough and losing 2 very close games. Like, so you have it, but it's so hard to make the necessary adjustments and trade the right pieces or let the right pieces go in free agency. But I think they did that this summer. I think going out and picking up some offensive help like they did, but letting Rob Hellier go was probably one of the smartest things they could have done. It was a shell shocker to a lot of people, but eventually you have to switch things up and figure out what is the best way to go. And I think they're realizing in this league, you need to just have a solid defense, but a spectacular offense. You're only going to win in this league if you have a solid defense, a good goaltender,
which they have,
and then they have both of those. But you just need to have a spectacular offense that is just can't be stopped,
especially in the East.
Yeah, and they were almost there, but there were points where you could put a guy on, Hellier, Schreiber, and Dawson, and who else are they going to go to? So now they're making those adjustments to where they're bolstering their offense. But of course, if you're going to do that, you're going to have to let someone go in terms of a trade piece, or let them go in free agency to open up that space. Hellier happened to be the guy, and I think Vegas is a good spot for him as well. So I'm not opposed to anything for any party that happened in Toronto.
And I think it's just going to make John Rogers more versatile too. He won't have to be stuck up top. He can play a little more transition, be a little more like Kyle Matisse is for the wings, and challenge just overall one of the best players in the entire league. So Toronto's schedule looks like this in the month of December, Deej. They open up at home, wherever that may be, to be determined, against the Vancouver Warriors, so some Alterna Cup action to kick off the season. Then they are on the road against Rochester, and then, as we mentioned just previously, hosting the Buffalo Bandits. So 3 games: Vancouver, Rochester, and Buffalo.
Wildly, I like them to start 3-0.
I have 2-1. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if they start 3-0. That's for sure.
Who do you have them dropping to? Rochester, maybe? For Rochester's first home game?
either Buffalo or Rochester. We'll see. I think either one of those could potentially be a loss. That's me being extremely optimistic about Rochester, but we'll see how that all goes. But I think it'll be a strong start in the month of December. Then we go to January. They're on the road against the New York Riptide, home against Halifax, at Philly, and then at Calgary. So 3 road games, 1 home game. It's the Riptide, the Thunderbirds, the Wings, and the Roughnecks.
Two and two. I think they win the first 2, coming in hot. Those are, so-so competition, but those last 2 get a little tougher. And if they're still feeling themselves, they catch a punch in the mouth from the Wings, who also have a very good offense. And then Calgary, I think, is going to be a sleeper this year for a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people are prepared for Calgary. I think they're going to look at their offense as kind of in a down year after losing Curtis Dixon, and I think they'll catch a lot of people on surprise.
I have them going 3-1. They're going to win that Wings game simply because in the history of me covering the Wings, I've never seen them beat the Toronto Rock, ever. I don't know why. They are just the kryptonite to the Wings. So hopefully the Wings prove me wrong and finally get that win. But I have Toronto going 3-1 in January. Then we move to February. They're home against the Riptide. They are at Georgia. Then they're home against Georgia. And that's their February schedule. So 2 against Georgia, home and home. And they are home against the Riptide.
Two and one.
I'm right there with you.
2-1.
Then we go to the month of March. They're home against Rochester. Then they're at Philly again. And that is Monday Night Lacrosse. Then they are home against Albany, at Halifax, at Albany. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games. Rochester, Philly, Albany, Halifax, Albany.
Two and three, but I don't know where wins and losses are.
I'm going to flip it and go 3-2. And then the month of April, they are home against Buffalo, home against the Wings, at Buffalo. So there's 3 games in April.
Two and one. I think they split with Buffalo. And like you said, they don't beat the Wings often. They beat the Wings often.
Yeah. I'm going to go 2-1 as well, which on the math here, Deej, you got them going 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 7. I'm doing the math right. It is 18 games.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. See, I'm having the math trouble now. And then I have 2, 3, it's 5, 7, 10. I have them going 12 and 6. I have them better than Buffalo. We'll see if that happens. That would be quite the feat for the Toronto Rock. But Deej, your team MVP for Toronto.
The man, Tommy Shribes. Just too good.
I mean, if they're going to go 12 and 6, be better than Buffalo, according to our predictions, I got to go with the man, the myth, the legend, future guest on this show, hopefully this season, number 66, Nick Rose. I think if this comes true, Nick's going to have like MVP caliber-esque season. So I'm going to go Nick Rose as my team MVP.
I like that.
Before we keep going, this next portion of OTB is brought to you by our homies over at Pickup. You guys can go to playpickup.com, start playing the hottest headlines in sports, rack up points on your fan profiles, cash them in for prizes on the Pickup Marketplace. That's playpickup.com. Fittingly enough, their logo is a lightning bolt. We're going to talk about the next team that made the postseason in the old school North Division last year. It's the Halifax Thunderbirds. Lots of turnover this offseason, lots of new additions, lots of, culture change, if you will. Randy Stott's now in the fold in Halifax, a long-awaited acquisition for this team. Reese Dutch coming back from injury for this team. You also have the addition of Wake Riot Bow Hunter in the draft this year. You have Jerry Stotts on this team as well. And I think just a lot of question marks around this team in terms of what the fuck happened last year, why was so much drastic change made last year, and what can we expect from this team this year with lots of change again and, just new guys on this team. How will the chemistry flow? How will it work on the floor? We know there's a lot of good relationships off the floor, so I'm not too concerned about that. But your thoughts about this Halifax team going into 2022-2023?
I don't have a lot of preseason thoughts. I'm a little, mostly more than just wonder. Like you said, we expressed a lot of concern at the end of last year and in the summer about the moves they made at the end of last year, especially because, they were looking to contend for a, not only a playoff spot, but for a championship run. And then all of a sudden they make a couple moves and they start losing 4 games in a row. I think it was 5 games in a row. Like that's big. That's huge. And it looks like they were trending backward. And so the moves that they made were just so puzzling. And then they didn't really do anything, in my opinion, over the summer to fix the moves that they made. Like you would think that if they, after getting rid of some of the names that they got rid of, that they would go out and have some blockbuster moves during free agency.
Which I think Randy Stotts was.
I mean, other
to
than
your point, we haven't seen Randy on the floor in 2+ years.
Right. I'm not nothing against Randy, but like other than Randy, they also didn't sign anyone else, and they let go 2 guys I can think of at least off the top of my head.
Sean Evans is in Vancouver after they traded for him, and then obviously the KJ stuff during the season last year.
Yep. And there might even be someone else that I'm blanking on right now, but
Steven LeBlanc signed with Georgia, but then he retired today. So, cheers to Steven for hell of a career.
You've lost 3 guys, but you've only signed 1.
I think their biggest thing was we're going to add the young talent in the draft with Bo Hunter, obviously. I think that was a big pick for them. And then I think they're basically banking on Randy and Reese coming back healthy from injury as being top-flight acquisitions. And I think they're just banking on a lot of youth, which I don't hate. I think that's a smart move for them. Because that's your core future. You don't know how many more years you're going to have of prime Cody Jamieson. You don't know what Randy and Reese are going to be coming off of these, big-time injuries. So to go and invest in the youth for this team, I think is a smart move for Halifax. It kind of sets more of a tone for your culture base in terms of what this organization wants to be and who they'll be identified as for years to come. I think it's just one of those things that it makes them a big-time wildcard team, and you don't know what you're going to get from them, and it's going to be very unexpected every single week that they play.
Yeah, I'm not opposed. Just have no real expectations moving forward because I guess I had expectations moving into the summer for them to make some bigger moves and do a little more to replenish. But what you brought up isn't necessarily a bad way to go. I'm not opposed to that. It's actually very smart moving forward. Some of these guys they do only have about 2 years, 3 years left with these guys. So you got to make do with them now, but also still prepare your team moving forward for the future. I talked about that a lot with my old high school this year during football. Had a senior quarterback who I felt was a little iffy, and it's like, but we also had a sophomore quarterback who could throw a little bit. Why not start the sophomore, give him that time as a varsity, quarterback to get everything under his belt, get used to it and all of that. So he comes back junior and senior year and it's the man, it makes so much sense. Don't understand why that wouldn't apply to the pro game as well. So we'll see.
So this is what Halifax looks like in the month of December. They have one home game. It is that opening night, which DJ and I will be live stream ManningCast style. YouTube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. Home against the Wings, Friday, December 2nd. Then they are on the road at the Riptide, at the Buffalo Bandits. Why is that Riptide game so... Oh, no, okay. I'm dumb. Halifax is an hour ahead of East Coast time. I was like, why is that Riptide game starting at 8:30 at night? I was so confused. I was like, I'm going to probably be at that game. Ugh. But Philly, New York, Buffalo is the schedule to start the season.
Oh, Philly, New York, Buffalo. 1 and 2.
I'm right there with you.
I think they snag one from those Riptide.
Then the month of January, the new year, they are at Albany, then home against Albany. Then they are on a back-to-back. When they're home against Albany, then they're at Toronto the very next day, and then they're home against the Rochester Nighthawks. So at Albany, home against Albany, at Toronto, home against Rochester.
I like 2 and 2.
I'm right there with you. I think they'll split with Albany. They'll lose to Toronto. And they'll beat Rochester. Then February, 3 games. Home against Calgary, at Rochester, home against the Riptide.
2 and 1.
I have them going 1 and 2.
I think Calgary's going to sneak up on them.
Then we move to March. They are home against Buffalo, at Buffalo, home against Toronto, and then at Philly.
Lisby.
Hot take here. I have them going 0 and 4.
Really? 0 and 4.
I think they're severely overmatched by Buffalo. I think Toronto is a better team, and the Wings always play them well, and it's at Philly, so I'm giving the home field advantage there, and I think the Wings are a much improved team this year across the board. I'm going 0 and 4.
I'll go 1 and 3. I'm not going to say who I think they win against, but I think they can squeeze one out there.
I think April's a big bounce back month, though. They are home against Georgia, at Saskatchewan, home against the Riptide, and then at Georgia.
Two and 2 again.
I have them 3 and 1 in the month of April. So that means, DJ, you have the Halifax Thunderbirds going 3, 5, 6, 8, 8 and 10. And I have them going 3, 4, 7 and 11. Which would mean Halifax probably not making the playoffs.
No.
Prove us wrong, though. We love Halifax. They are homies. Prove us wrong. Your team MVP for the Halifax Thunderbirds is...
Warren Hill.
I am going to go with a nice little dark horse pick, and I'm going to go Clark Peterson.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot.
Which brings us to our final team in the old school North. That is the Rochester Nighthawks. Big time roster changes this offseason. Connor Fields now pretty much the face of this team. Charlie Bertrand is out. He's in Vegas now. You still have the likes of Ryland Reese, Dan Coates, Ryan Smith, Matt Gilray. You still have Curtis Knight on this team. The boy, Paul Dawson. Brad Gillies is on this team. A lot of big-time additions. Holden Catoni still on this team as well. Some big-time additions with Fieldsy, obviously. Riley Hutchcraft and Rylan Hartley, your goalies. Thomas Hogarth is still on this team. Turner Evans is still on this team. Rochester's a team that I feel like has been in that space of like trying to figure out their identity since they became this new era of Rochester Nighthawks. And now I think is the year where the expectations begin to kick in. I feel like last year it was going to be that, but then you had Evan Kirk pretty much out for the season as your big free agent splash at the goalie position, and things kind of just derailed from there. But I like what Rochester did this offseason. I like their new uniforms a lot. You got to look good, feel good, play good. Deej, your thoughts going into the season for the Rochester Nighthawks?
I'm just ready to see how this new constructed offense comes together. Obviously, a new focal point with Connor Fields coming into play. But, he's working with Charlie Bertrand and company. So really excited to see, he adds a new point of vibrancy and flow to the offense, shot selection and style. Like, he's such a dynamic player that you're forced to do certain things for him. Defenses are forced to respect him. So, I'm just excited to see more so how Connor Fields is going to, have his hands all over the offense more than anything else.
Fieldsy and Ryan Smith together is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited for that big time.
With Charlie Bertrand not there. Oh, and Holden Catoni.
Well, Birdie's in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Basically did a swap of Birdie for Fieldsy. But I'm excited for Fields to be with Ryan Smith. I think it's going to be electric. So here's Rochester's December schedule. 3 games. They are at Georgia to start the season. Then they are home against Toronto. And then they are at Albany.
One and two.
I love you, Rochester, but I have you going 0-3 to start the year.
Ooh.
I think that's 3 tough opponents. Then the month of January, they host Panther City. They're at New York. They are hosting Buffalo. And then they are at Halifax.
Definitely not beating Buffalo.
I have them going 2-2.
Yeah. I'd have to agree.
And then going into February, they are at Buffalo, home against Halifax, home against New York.
2-1. I think they dropped to Buffalo, and that's it.
I think I'm right there with you at the 2-1 spot. Going into March, they are at Toronto, at Georgia, home against Philly, at Vegas.
That's 4, 2-2.
I'm going 1-3.
Ooh.
And then April, they are at Philly. They at Philly twice?
Sounded like it.
I think so. April, they're at Philly, home against Albany, home against Georgia, home against Philly.
One and two.
4 games.
Shit.
I have
and three.
I have 1 and 3 as well.
Yeah, 1 and 3.
So that has the Rochester Nighthawks for DJ at 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, and 10. And that has them for me at 2, 4, 5, 6, and 12. Which is not a bad 6 and 12, in my opinion. Your team MVP for Rochester.
They have to be Connor Fields.
I'm right there with you. So we have the division looking like this. DJ, you have the old school North, even though it's not how the division will finish because it's all in the East. You have Buffalo at 10 and 8. You have Toronto at 11 and 7. Halifax at 8 and 10. And Rochester at 8 and 10. And then I have Buffalo finishing 11 and 7. Toronto at 12 and 6, Halifax at 7 and 11, and then Rochester at 6 and 12. Will we be right? Absolutely not. Will we revisit this in April? Absolutely. But that is our old school North Division NLL season preview. And Deej, before we get to our last topic, we talked about this before we started recording.
Yep.
We'll be doing this at halftime of our live stream as well. But we've got a package here. I haven't opened my package yet. These are PLL Topps cards. PLL Topps cards are here. We're going to open some Topps cards.
Right here.
Deej
Right now.
convinced me. So if you're listening on the podcast, go to YouTube.
Subscribe to Underground.
Subscribe to the YouTube. And we're going to open some Topps cards. Are we going to open all 5, Deej, that we have in my package here? Do we go all 5? For the people listening on audio, this is your ASMR for the night. Opened. I almost doxed myself right there. Let's see here. Obviously not our traditional camera setup, but we'll do it like we did last time. I'm going to have some top loaders and sleeves at the ready because I still have some left over, thankfully. But this is 2022 PLL Topps cards, not from a box, but allegedly from a box. And we're going to open these bad boys. So let's get into it. Deej, do any of yours feel heavier? Because I have like 2 here that feel significantly heavier than the other ones.
They don't feel like heavier, but like thicker.
Yeah, like when I put like 1 in my hand from some of the other ones, they feel heavier.
Like when
Has me excited.
when I touch them, they feel like the cards feel like thicker.
Yeah, I'm excited. So here we go. Surprise PLL Topps card opening. Topps, please fucking sponsor us.
Please.
Here we go. Oh my god. I'm nervous. I don't know what to expect.
I'm so nervous.
What is your biggest hope and aspiration here? What is the card you want to pull? Mine is a 1/1 relic jersey patch Colin Squires. No cap.
Honestly, I would honestly go nuts for like a 101 Kieran McCardle right now.
That too. Any of the homies, really. Come on. Don't want to damage the cards.
Or like a 101 signed glaze relic piece from the night he scored.
True.
The first time. The night he scored the first time up in Fairfield.
All right, here we go. I have a Twitter follower, Nick Morocco. Miraculous.
Mm-hmm. Bitcoin.
Shout out.
Bitcoin champ.
Got another homie. Juicy J, the trash man, Jay Carlson on the horizontal layout. Not numbered. Gotta look for those too. We got the boy, CJ Castabile.
Castabile.
Then we got a blue border numbered to 99 horizontal Jack Keelty.
Oh, okay.
Blue border. So we'll put that in the sleeve in a
I think
moment.
that's the first Jack Kilty we've gotten in general.
Think so. And we got an Atlas Brent Adams. Short-lived. Then we've got Justin Anderson.
Okay.
Horizontal view. Oh, this is fucking great. This is great. Future guest of this podcast, hater of the Short Kings.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. And then we've got a chaotic bandit, Josh Byrne.
Fire.
Not too shabby. So we got a numbered card in the first pack. That's solid. Jack Keelty. Shout out to the boy. Numbered to 99. Deej, your first pack.
Well, you bought yours 5 and 5 separate. So
Correct.
you have yours easily spread out for you. And
True. You've got decisions.
Right. So at least for the first one, I would like you to pick one of these randos.
I am going to go with... I'm going to pick a number for you to pick. I'm going to go with number 3.
From the right or the left?
From the left.
1, 2, 3.
L3.
L3, people. L3. Sorry, that's a miss on my Battleships board.
I was hoping you would say that. Just for the people at home, there's the blue border. Jack Keelty. That's solid. We love a numbered card.
We do. Okay. Not 1 of 1. But we do start off with an Eddie Glazner.
Nice. I still have the best Glaze card.
Yes, you do.
Red border, 3 out of 5. What do we got?
I feel like this should automatically be numbered, and it's probably going to end up being worth money because the man barely played this year. So it's crazy that they got a picture of him. Caraway.
Oh boy,
Man
Holy.
played.
How tucked is he? I think that determines the value.
I think he's full in this one, dog.
Hey-oh, we got a fully tucked Caraway. Bah, 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 bah.
Man played literally. Like
Well, also let's preface this. This set is including 2021 players as well. Like Chris Hogan is in this set, so some of the photos might be from 2021. Look at the jersey. That'll tell you. Is it a Champion or an Adidas jersey?
Oh, it's an Adidas jersey.
So that's a picture from 2021. Yeah, this picture of
So
Keelty is Adidas as well.
all of mine so far have been 2021.
Yeah, let me look at that, actually.
Here is the boy Matty Ice.
Nice. That's a good one.
Rambo John. I like that. Got
Yeah,
the
the
boy
whole pack was Adidas.
Jamie Trimboli.
Trimboli. Jamie Stromboli.
Kevin Reisman.
Nice.
Couple cannons in a row. Okay.
Yeah, I had a couple cannons in my pack, too.
Guy Mark McNeil.
Nice.
Love a short stick D-mid. The homie Finn. 2 Woods D makes me happy. This makes me very happy, actually. And the star of the pack. Kiss me, kiss me, kiss me. O'Rylan Rees.
Woo! Boy!
Autoed.
That's gorgeous. That's one of those Tops 51 Johns, too. Or Tops 52.
Yep, Tops 52, 18.
That's beautiful.
Second team All-Pro. Rees is a shooting threat in transition and 1/3 of the league's scrappiest face-off unit alongside Jake Withers and Zach Currier. And has his 2021 PLL stats on it.
And follows the Outside the Box podcast on Twitter.
Yes, he does.
Shout out to the boy. That's a great card. That's a great picture.
Yes. I'm going to show it again for the people.
That's a beautiful pull.
Look at
That's
that.
amazing.
Oof.
Shout out to Lack Straps.
Facts. Look at that beautiful lag strap up there.
All right, here we go. I am getting this pack opened as we speak. Don't want to damage the cards. This one's feeling kind of thick, though, too. And I don't know what to expect here. So, first pack, Magic for both of us.
Yes.
And we're keeping the good times rolling. John Sexton.
Okay. More
Sexy
Woods.
boy.
More Woods.
And we're keeping the good times rolling, Deej. TD Ireland.
Oh, my. Gee. Oh.
This pack hella horizontal too, by the way.
This Woods love is crazy.
Michael Rexroad. Not number. We've got our first insert card. We got a Field Generals guest of the Outside the Box podcast, friend of the program, Blaze Reardon.
Oh, that's fire.
It's a sweet one. Then we've got another horizontal junk, Chris Aslanian. Shout out to the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
I think it's
That's a nice one now because he's
Aslanian.
He's on Cannons now, and it's in his Whipsnakes jersey.
I think it says Aslanian.
Tomato. But he's on Cannons now.
One of the announcers made a big deal about it this summer.
Yeah.
After his brother got signed and like all that jazz, and I was like, all right.
Sam Duggan.
Is it Duggan or Dugan?
I think it's Duggan because it's double G.
That doesn't mean it can't be Dugan.
Pretty sure it's Duggan.
All right, I trust you.
We got the mustache, Brad Smith. And then we got Max Adler.
Okay. That's a solid pack.
Solid pack.
That
Field
Field
General Blaze
yeah.
Reardon from his MVP season. What's the back say here? In his third season as a starter, Blaze Reardon won his third consecutive Oren Lions Goalie of the Year award. Reardon emerged as a vocal leader in Chaos Lacrosse Club's locker room en route to the 2021 PLL Championship. Hella horizontal cards in that pack. That was
They had a bunch of horizontal in the first one, too.
Very interesting.
So I did the fourth from the right for this pack.
To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right.
We need to start getting some coaches cards in here.
Facts. We've been saying it. Come on, Top. Start listening to us.
Starting with the homie, John Crawley.
Nice.
Not bad, not bad. Another poll to keep me happy. Jackson Place.
Shout out.
Donnie Moss. Very short-lived. So, this is a pretty solid card.
That's what we call a short print.
I believe this is an insert.
Hey-oh.
We got Jeff Teat, Rookie of the Year, John.
That's solid. Teat has had some of the best cards across the board.
Oh, yeah.
Like from last year's
1,000%.
From last year's pack with the 2 cards that Teat had in that one, he's on a roll with how good his cards look.
Well, here's the base model of your Kilty.
Hey-oh.
So we got that in there.
Very happy that mine was a blue border for Cannons.
Matching you with the Justin Anderson
Nice.
as well.
J.A.
The boy, Hecock on Peacock.
Let's go.
You can actually say that with this card.
Yes, that one is a Hecock on Peacock.
And the prized possession of the pack, I am one-upping you again. Come with it. Signed Mac O'Keefe.
Sheesh. My
Yes,
man's
sir.
got 2 autos so far.
Dude, my packs are coming through.
I am opening pack number 3 of 5. This one felt a little heavy, so that's why I went with it, and I'm hoping it comes through. I do have somebody, again, from the Cannons in this pack that I can see from the back. Spoiler, no context. We've got Cannons Tim Edwards.
Okay. Tim
And
Edwards,
we've got friend of the program, Mike Channinchuk.
Ooh, Channy.
Then we've got recurring guest, friend of the program, Horizontal View, Jack Rowlett.
Big boy Jack. Fastest man in the PLL.
Facts. Oh my God, we've got a foil card. Follower of the pod, Jared Connors.
Okay, JC.
That is sick. Foil card right there, and that'll get sleeved up. Then we've got the sickest tilt in the game, the God in his Archer's uni, Christian Mazzone.
He does not have the sickest tilt in the game.
It was all facetious.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Then we've got DJ's favorite player in the PLL, Tim Troutner.
Hey, Timmy.
T.
I don't
It's a great picture of Timmy.
dislike you.
Then we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Zach Courier.
Oh, that's solid. The man.
And finishing up, Jacob Stover for the Cannons.
Okay.
So we got a foil card there for Jared Connors. Not numbered or anything. But it is his rookie card.
Okay.
So I do like that. Let's go with number 1 to the right.
One to the right.
Like that. A foil insert Jared Connors rookie card to add to the hits. I mean, for cards that have allegedly been pulled from hobby boxes and being sold as just packs, we're doing pretty all right.
I would say so.
a numbered card, and a foil rookie card for me. And you've got 2 autos. And I also got a Field General, which is technically an insert, and you got end of year awards, Jeff Teat.
Yep.
You definitely can't see the foil well on YouTube, but you can kind of see it glowing now. That is sweet. And whoever number 24 is for the Whip Snakes from last year is also in this picture, just blurred.
Jake Barnhart coming in first. First
That's
to
a
whip
solid
that down.
picture. Showing off the quads.
It does show off his quads very well. The best hype man in the PLL, Austin Cott.
Nice.
Depoy snubbed this year. G. The boy Garrett.
Solid.
Which is huge for me to say.
Throwback to when I pulled that 1 of 1.
If you know, you know. It's huge for me to say he's a GP snub or he's snubbed. Coming through again with Jeff Teat.
Again.
Just,
Jeff Teat
just
cards are
icy.
Perfect.
They're just so icy.
That
so
number
icy.
7, man. That number 7.
Another Atlas boy coming through. The man Dearth. Peter Dearth.
Nice.
Up next, recurring guest, podcast man, the boy, your homie, Chase Frazier.
The guy. The Don.
Guy. Also got to slide in with Short King Hater.
Let's go. Future guest of this show.
Future guest. And Dark Horse guest, one of my favorite players, arguably my favorite player of all time. I get hype anytime I get a card of his. I've happened to pull one of his cards every time we do a pull. But it is an insert. All-Pro insert Miles Jones. First team.
That's sick.
Yes, sir.
That is sick. I'm trying to get this one open. It's been difficult. Oh my god. We got ourselves a beautiful pull. Nothing. Oh no. And we're back. We got ourselves a beautiful pull here. It's not an insert or anything. It's just a wonderful, wonderful rookie card, and it's from this year. It is Logan Wisnowskis.
Oh, that's a nice picture, too. Is that him taking a shot, like falling down?
Yep.
Yeah,
Being attacked
solid.
by Scott Ratliff, it looks like.
That's solid.
That'll get a sleeve. Then we've got one of my favorite people to announce when he does anything when we're in the booth. All right, Witcha. Matthew Witcha. That is sweet. Shout out to the Witch. Then we've got the boy, Steven Reefus.
Okay. He had a little bit of a down year this year.
Then we've got another Field General insert. Oh, my Lord. We got something else after that, too. Field General Zeddy Ball Game.
Okay, solid. We like that.
Deej, we got our first autograph.
Mm.
And it's one that you also pulled. But it's different. It's horizontal Ryland Reese.
Okay. I like that.
Which...
I like that.
Oh, that would have been sweet if he was wearing custom Carly gloves.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a beautiful card. Playing against the Woods. Then we've got another short print for sure. Michael Krause.
Wow. Okay.
And then we've got ourselves a Peter Dearth.
Solid.
And then this
Join
one's
the
pretty
crew.
sweet because this is probably his last card while he was playing printed. Joel White.
Ah, that's solid. I like
That's
that a lot.
Sweet one.
That's such a sweet card.
That was a hell of a pack. Logan Wisnauskas rookie card, Field General Zed Williams, Rylan Reese auto, and Joel White. Plus
That's-
Michael Krause
That's
for the
solid.
real sickos at home.
Right. I had
That's
7
3
packs.
sleevable cards right there with Zed,
Yeah. That's a very
Logan,
good pack.
and Ryland.
I had 7 packs left, so I went with pack number 4 right in the middle.
Why don't you just meet me in the middle?
Starting with JD Colarusso,
Shout out.
filling in very handedly for Jack Kincannon multiple times. The boy, Jules.
Nice. I also stand corrected from earlier. The Jared Connors card is not a rookie card because I just looked at the Logan card and it has the RC emblem on it.
Mm-hmm.
It just is Jared Connors from this season, just no stats.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think he really played last season. Last season meaning 2021.
I'm getting the craziest cards.
We're getting great pulls.
Peyton Smith.
That's unreal.
You think that's unreal? Let me follow that up with John Madursky.
Holy moly.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying.
These are deep cuts of 2021.
Connor Kelly taking a ripper. That's solid. We got Jake Richard.
Yo, can we just mention, too, that our Rylan Reese cards are 2022 PLL champion Rylan Reese autographs, but they're from 2021.
You're right. They are.
But still, he's a 2022 champ.
He is, in fact, a champ. Rookie card
Hey-o.
from the man,
Showing off the Ryland a little better there for the people.
Asher Nolting.
Ooh-wee! That is a podcast staple right there.
And
That is BDJ. We stand Asher before DJ and a DJ.
facts. And
That's
the
sweet.
best card in the pack. AW insert for the Paul Cantabile Face-Off Athlete of the Year, Trevor Baptiste.
That's a sick card.
Dude, do you
I
see
love
the
that background.
with the blue? It just like the blue
That's
sits on that
sweet.
background so well. Oh,
That's sweet.
and I like that this background is like so different than like this one, which is literally just like a faded game
Yeah.
picture. Like, oh, they did such a great job with these.
These look great. We are doing unbelievable with these packs so far. For what they are. Like, we need to get a box.
Yes,
If a hobby shop wants to sponsor a break for us, we will gladly do that and open a box and promote your store.
gladly.
Last pack magic for your boy. Now, mind you, I have 5 more packs chilling upstairs that we will be opening at halftime of our live stream of Wings Thunderbirds on December 2nd. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia.
And we may have a do review during that process too. If
We
you
may
ain't-
also have 7 packs to open, depending on
if you not subscribed to a YouTube
what
channel
are you
yet,
doing.
get subscribed because you're not going to miss this live stream. Not only are we going to be making the wildest of faces and saying the craziest of things as we see these jaw-dropping goals.
Yes.
We're opening packs. We're doing do reviews. We're chatting it up. Like, don't miss it.
Be in the comment section. We'll chat with you.
Oh, man. The more you say to us, the better it'll be.
John Haas.
Okay.
Big house bouse. Johnny Surdick.
Much respects to you, sir. Thank you for your service.
Gutty in the whips, John.
In the whips, John, too. Not the
Whip,
not
but
the
here,
Chrome.
nope, this is cool.
2021 whips.
Says he's on Chrome. Chrome emblem at the bottom. Whips, it's very Nick Grill. That's
But
a set.
I have that Nick Grill card.
So do I. That's very cool. Chris Kluche.
Okay, Klooch.
Very sweet. Oh my god. Bro, we got the same card. For the third time tonight. Rylan Reese, Topps 52 auto.
What?
What are the odds?
Which number is yours?
18?
Oh, okay.
That's probably just the number in the set that he is.
Yeah.
Not numbered or anything, though. But Topps 52, Rylan Reese, auto. Is yours tape auto or on card?
On card.
So is mine.
My Mac is taped, though.
Yeah, my other Rylan was tape. We got Jack Concannon.
Okay.
His arms look fucking swole in that picture. We got Dylan Malloy.
Okay.
It's a new one there for us.
I wonder if that's the. Can you see his jersey?
Yeah.
I wonder if is that the end of last year or beginning of this year?
I think it was the end of last year because it's Adidas.
Okay.
And then the final card is a homie, the boy, the man, the myth, the legend, coming back for year 11. Will Manny.
Okay, Will.
That's a sick picture too. I think that was in Baltimore because it's when he was like pointing. That's a sweet shot. What are the odds that we pull the same exact auto?
Yeah, that's wild.
And the fact that we pulled 3 Rylan Reese autographs in one opening.
That's crazy.
That's absurd.
All right, one more.
Let's go 2 to the left. This Rylan Reese card is so sweet.
It is. I like that card a lot.
That is easily in my tops, no pun intended so far, of like all the tops cards we've opened, one of the best. Photos and just like it looks sweet on the Topps 52 style.
It does. It looks fantastic. All right.
That is crazy. There's just simply no way we just did that. 3 the Rylan Reese opening.
I know. That's like literally insane. Gits coming in first.
Shout out to the Gits, man. That is a sweet card, man. Very happy with that one.
The homie. Future podcast. Survivor Watcher.
Hello.
Wire Sixes. Come here.
Let's go. That's awesome. Love that.
Love it.
Love that.
Coming in next.
That's a win right there.
The boy Ryan Smith.
That's a win. We pulled Colin Squires.
That is in fact
Successful opening.
a huge win. Oh, Tyson Bell. Okay.
I wonder if he's got Carly's gloves on.
Oh, he does.
That's sick.
I don't know if you're going to be able to see.
Ooh-wee. That's awesome.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Shout out to Carly. At Kicks by Carly on Instagram. Go follow her. What is this reaction? That your camera got blurred. That's even funnier.
Drew Snyder, and I have his
Ooh.
jersey.
That's sweet.
And I think that's probably the last card he's going to have made now that he's retired.
Definitely. I'm just double checking to make sure nothing else I have is numbered.
Your homie, Ryan Ambler.
Ramble on, baby. Philly zone.
Oh, I was looking at this card way wrong. I like the way they faded it, though. The seats in the back kind of gives it a little of a foil look, but Cav in the woods.
Retro John.
Now officially a retro card.
Probably his last Redwoods card printed, maybe. He might get one next year, depending on
How they do it.
how they do it.
And the prize possession of the pack, a foil card
Heyo.
from none other than Christian Cuccinello.
That's pretty solid. Nice. So let's go over the haul here from 5 packs. Much better hit rate, I think, than either of the previous sets from what we have gotten experience-wise. So we'll start off here. I got 2 of the Field Generals inserts with 2 MVPs, Blaze and Zed. Oh, the back of the Zed card says, Zed Williams' inside roll is the most unstoppable move in lacrosse. Defenders bounce off Zed at goal line extended as he attacks the cage. There are the 2 Field Generals. I like the X's and O's background on these as well. They look very sweet. Makes the picture pop. Those look awesome. Shout out to the Field Generals. And then we got the Logan Wisnauskas rookie card. I am Groot. Shout out. Oh, this is cool. The back of Logan's card reads this, Deej. On Monday, he led the Maryland Terrapins to a national championship. On Wednesday, he won the Tewaaraton Award. And on Sunday, 2022 first overall pick Logan Wisnauskas debuted for Chrome Lacrosse Club.
That's fire. That is fire.
Then we pulled the Jared Connors foil. And then we started things off with a number 28 out of 99 Jack Keelty blue border for those out of 99. And then we pulled 2 Ryland Reese autos. The Topps 52 version and the horizontal taped version. That is what we call very successful from 5 loose packs. 2 autos, a numbered to 99, a foil, a Logan Wisnauskas rookie card, and 2 Field General inserts. Deej, your hits.
Had the Asher rookie card.
I forgot you got a rookie card too.
Mm-hmm. Got the Christian Cuccinello foil. Got the Miles Jones first pro. Jeff T, Rookie of the Year. Trevor Baptiste, Paul Cantabine, Face-Off Athlete of the Year. Mac O'Keefe, Tape on Auto. And Ryland Reese, Topps 52 on card auto.
So we both pulled 2 autos. Both pulled a foil. Both pulled a rookie card.
Yep.
And then I got the numbered Keelty.
You got the number killed you, then I got the
You
2
got
awards
two
and the
award
first
winners.
pro.
Yeah. That's unbelievable.
I'm excited to see what's in these 5.
That's crazy.
Because I got a feeling one of these has a insert.
Like, that's insane what we just pulled.
And can you imagine getting an insert of a jersey you have?
Good night.
Good night.
What a surprise pull that was. Fantastic stuff. And speaking of the PLL, we have information. I'm gonna fix my camera real quick.
Information.
We have info.
I do like that they came in packs, but like now there's like no box to like store them in.
True. We have information we are privy to. The PLL Championship Series preview, mini preview. We have a date. We have a location. It is going to be taking place, ladies and gentlemen, February 22nd to the 26th, 2023, at the St. James in Springfield, Virginia. Northern Virginia, very close to D.C. You got Archers, Atlas, Chrome, and Whipsnakes. They'll travel with 12-man rosters to the St. James Club. Each club will play 3 round-robin games from Wednesday to Friday to determine seeding for the semifinals on Saturday, and the winners will advance to the championship on Sunday, February 26th. There will be a 30-second shot clock for this, which is what the NLL shot clock is, for each team's possession. Instead of taking face-offs after goals are scored, goalies will restart play immediately with a clear, and it will also feature a 13-yard two-point arc.
Yep. And there's no chase.
Yes.
Shots that are wide are just that. They're wide in the turnover, which is probably one of the most interesting parts that are going to be this. Also thought it was interesting they chose Virginia at this time of year and that it's going to be in an indoor facility. I actually saw someone on Twitter go, 6-on-6 in an indoor setting. That sounds
in the winter.
fun. Yeah, in the winter. Like, that sounds fun. And then just took, like, a picture of an NLL game. And I was like, oh, my God. Oh, that's hilarious. Because, like, I mean, yeah. Like, what's really the difference other than they take face-offs? And, I mean, obviously there's very minor differences. But, like, what was the point in having this PLL Championship Series to do it in a cold place inside? Like, I thought this would have been a great opportunity to go to a warmer place that isn't quite a hotbed to try and continue to spread the game instead of going back to a place like Virginia that has a bunch of fans. And, you know, it's going to be not necessarily warm, so you have to go inside. But maybe there's a strategy to this, and I don't think they're quite looking for in-person attendance. Maybe they just want everybody to...
I think they are, because it is presented by Ticketmaster.
But, like, how many tickets are they selling? What's the venue? You know, how many people can even go to the venue?
I can tell you right now.
Because I don't know too much about this venue.
So there's pre-sale access for all access, multi-day, and single day. There's going to be a 21 and up beer garden. Here's this. We have game times as well for each one. So Wednesday, February 22nd, 2 games, 5:30, 7:30 p.m. Then Thursday, 6:30 and 8:30 p.m. And then Friday, 5:30 and 7:30 p.m. And then the semifinals will be at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. And then the championship will be 11:30 a.m. on the Sunday. The St. James. Let's see. St. James. Looking here. There's not a Wikipedia page to show me how it's open, but the looks of the indoor like photos of it, it's got a hockey ring. It's got the indoor. It's got like a vibe of the Syracuse Dome in terms of like what the field kind of looks like. I mean, it's like just an all around athletic facility, really. This place looks fucking cool. Not gonna lie. They got like a Ninja Warrior park at this place, bro.
It's probably just a CrossFit gym
They got it all at this joint.
or one of them body boot camp, fit camp things.
But they got the turf fields indoors, so that's where it's going to be. Kind of threw me off that it was there. I don't know how much of in person I will be there for this because I have my photo gig that I work every single year that weekend for Buena Regional High School's theater department, and we're putting on a big show this year, Deej. We're doing The Little Mermaid. So there's going to be a lot of attention to detail for your boy. But the championship game is on a Sunday. Our show closes on Saturday, so we'll see how cognizant I feel to drive the 3 hours to Northern Virginia or not. But either way, we'll be covering it one way or another, social media wise.
I'll be right here on my couch.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what
we'll be talking about it. Hopefully Twitter is still around in February.
Man, you got to stop saying that. Twitter is going to be here.
I hope so.
You got to be positive.
Trying.
You got to be positive.
Trying.
Twitter is going to be here.
But yeah, championship series is going to be wild.
You got an early prediction? It's so hard to tell because, like,
It's tough.
are they even using any of their current roster?
That's the
players?
thing. It's like figuring out the rosters and who's on, who's going to be allowed to play if they're not playing in the NLL that week. And
are they going to be required to turn in their rosters early so we know who's on it, or are we going to find out like we normally do a day before the game?
it's tough. You got Whips, Chrome, Archers, and Atlas.
You know what I'm saying? Like, are we going to find out before that first Wednesday game? Who's on their roster on Tuesday, or are we going to know like a week in advance, or 2 weeks in advance, like that?
And you never want to wish like injuries or anything, but you don't know what the NLL season will hold in the first 2.5 months.
Yep. Or if they're even going to let those guys go play.
If I had to make a prediction simply based off of rosters of least NLL guys, it's Archers.
But do they even use any of those guys?
I think they'll use Will and Marcus.
But will they? Truly.
Will, Marcus, and Grant.
Especially Grant, do you want to risk Grant getting hurt in fucking sixes? Like, let's be honest here. You want to risk Grant, who's already been hurt multiple times, getting hurt?
You got to also remember, these guys, if they play, they're getting paid. So
right,
more money for them.
I mean, I get it, but like, how much are they really getting paid for this little 5 days?
I'm not sure. Obviously.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
but that's how you got to look at it too. Like, if these guys are going to play, like, they got to, at least they have that incentive. Like, they're going to get paid. This is another trophy for them, for their team. Like, it's very similar. Like, we mentioned it when they first announced this. It's very similar to Champions League for Premier League soccer and Serie A and everything. Like, those guys risk going and getting injured in Champions League.
But, like, Champions League, like, actually means something.
Right, and I think that's what the PLL is trying to get this to be.
I just don't know, because, like, I don't know how valued people hold sixes. You know what I'm saying? Like, Champions League.
I think it's big for somebody like a Grant to get the experience in like the style of sixes, because 2028 you got to assume Grant Ament's going to be on that Olympic team.
I mean, but like I don't think he doesn't know how to play sixes.
Not that he doesn't, but I think it's more just like how we mentioned, even for Michael Sowers playing PLL from college and kind of getting that timing adjustment for him, where like college was like easier for him because of the style he played to like set up, and then we saw like the adjustment it took in those 2 games he played in his rookie year, and then boom, he was ready to go because he played a little bit at least, and he wasn't fully injured like he was his rookie year. But I think for Grant, it's just a timing thing for sixes, and not being like I think it's more just like positional for him.
Yeah, I just don't see any of these teams,
because he's going to be the face. He's going to be one of the faces of that Olympic team.
But that's why I don't see any of these teams risking the face of their team in a 5-day tournament that means nothing, almost.
I disagree with that.
You
in
know,
terms of
like,
what it means. I disagree with that.
We won the championship series.
Yeah, you're setting that precedent of this meaning something.
But what is it going to mean?
It's another trophy for your club. Like that's bragging rights. It's money. Whoever wins is getting paid more money than the teams that don't win.
But like I just don't see like the incentive being enough to risk a player like Grant or Lyle or anybody of that stature.
Well, Lyle ain't gonna be playing in this.
But yeah, I'm saying, but like even if they did, I don't see them risking a player like Lyle going and playing in sixes. Like the incentive isn't big enough for the player nor the team to send a player of that caliber, in my opinion. Like I don't see the PLL paying them really that much money for 5 days. And I don't see the trophy really meaning that much. Like, oh my God, we won the Sixes trophy, but now Lyle tore his ACL and he's not going to play this summer. I don't see that that championship series trophy being worth a torn ACL by Lyle, or a broken arm by Grant, something like that. Like I don't see
but if
possible long-term effect being worth that.
If anybody approached anything like that, then it's like, what's the point of even playing? Like, you're playing a sport that is a risk of injury.
Whoa, that's different though. Like when you're playing all season for a championship, like the championship, yeah, you're gonna go out and risk it. But off season, 5 days, where you can,
I do think you're underestimating it a little bit.
I mean, I'm not saying like I'm underestimating it a little bit, yeah, but like if you're looking at it as a star player, you're like, okay, this is off season. They're asking me to go out and play 5 days in a different format for $5,000 in a trophy. Me personally, I'm probably saying no.
I do believe, if I remember correct, it's a lot more than 5,000.
I mean, yeah, but like compared to what they make for the season, what the trophy means in the regular season,
from what I've been told through the grapevine, it is a significant payday.
How significant though? Like that's, to me, that means that's going to be a big portion in this. Is like how significant, but like I also don't see it being that significant of a payday because it's only 5 days.
For the time, like for the amount of time that it is, from what I've been told, if I'm remembering correctly, it is a pretty significant amount of money that they're going to make as players, and that the winning team gets.
I know the winning team gets quite a bit. I do know that.
Like, if I'm remembering, I think, I don't want to go on the record and say it.
Yeah.
But the winning team gets a pretty hefty payday.
Yes.
And you're getting, I think you're underestimating how guys are going to value this just a bit. Especially the guys that aren't playing NLL. I'm not even really worried about them. I'm completely removing them from this entire equation, really.
Yeah,
Because
so am I. But like,
I don't think any of them are going to play / be allowed to play. I don't know what that semantics is. But I think there are going to be guys that surprise you that will play.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if anyone plays. But I don't see. I guess I would be. I wouldn't be. I guess I'm not surprised to see that, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a bunch of them not play either.
I'll tell you guys right now that I would go on the record and say will play. The 3 Archers, 4. I think Ambler will play too because he doesn't play NLL at all.
I think Ryan Ambler's going to play because he barely plays PLL.
The 4 Archers boys: Manny, Holman, Grant, Ambler. I think Logan Wisnauskas is going to play.
Can the Bunk Boys get away from coaching?
They're not coaching anymore.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
that's going to be a
remember,
big thing too.
I remember last year when I was looking at Utah's coaching staff, they weren't on the coaching staff anymore.
I don't know if they're doing high school or anything in the area either.
Yeah.
But like that's going to be a big thing. A lot of the coaches aren't really going to be able to get away for 5 days either. The weekend helps. I'll say that much. But like, it's that time of the year where, college season at that point is already 3 weeks in. High school season starts the next week. Like, some of those guys aren't.
Logan's going to play because I don't think he's going to play significant amount of time with Colorado to where it'll matter.
He might.
Chris Gray is going to play in this. Can almost guarantee that.
Well, he's not playing NLL, so probably.
Channy's probably going to play for Whips, potentially, depending on if he can escape Stony Brook for a little bit.
Call me crazy. Call me crazy.
But
Call me crazy, but I don't see Channy as like a.
It wouldn't shock me, is what I'll say.
He's like not a star in my opinion. Like when I look at like he's very good and could be star level, but like when I look at the Whips, like he's not.
He's somebody that'll play for them because you're not gonna have Zed, you're not gonna have Rambo.
Yeah, exactly.
You're
but
probably
like
not gonna have Brad Smith either.
But that's what I'm saying. Those are the guys that I would expect to sit out. Those are the people I see like the Whips looking at as their stars.
If Gutty can get away from his day job, he'll play.
What is Gutty's day job again?
He works at CBS. Like CBS Sports.
He's not getting away.
He might, because his rookie year he played for the Wings, working at CBS. So
yeah, but they're getting ready for March Madness. No way can he get away for 5 days at that point.
He probably will be able to. It's the end of February. It's not fully. You got to remember, March Madness is not till the middle of March.
Yeah, but CBS handles so much college basketball. They do like so much conference tournament and then March Madness. Like the last 2 weeks of February and
I don't know exactly what his exact job is there either.
I say, yeah, that'll depend a lot on it. But if he has any type of significant hand with college basketball,
I think he's more like sales, than like the production or anything like that.
Yeah, but still sales.
Which sales for that are already done. For a massive company like CBS, their Q1 stuff is like being handled right now.
I mean, yeah, I know that because like my company does the same thing.
So
but they're like just now in the push of that.
Yeah, so by February, like that'll all be settled for like that portion of the year. I think Gutty will be able to play, especially since he was able to escape and go play NLL his rookie year with the Wings.
But like you're only asking him to go somewhere on a Saturday. You're not asking him to skip out on that. Yeah, but you're not asking him to skip out on half the week. The media world gets real crazy when you start asking for days off.
I think he'll. My thing. It's not like he's in front of the camera or anything like that, or like a host or something. So like, I'm sure that they can manage if he were to go play.
I just wonder what he does. That's a big thing with that.
Caraway's gonna play. The Heacock's gonna play probably. Jackson Morrell's probably going to play. And I don't know if he's fully going to play NLL or not, but Jackson Reed wouldn't shock me if he's like a focal point for the Whips.
I think he'll play. I don't know.
I forget what team he's on.
I think he's on Georgia. Almost positive he's on Georgia.
But yeah, I mean, I think I'll get more excited for the championship series in like January. It's November. It's early. There's still a lot of details to be ironed
I
out.
need so much more detail before I can even. I have so many questions and stuff right now. Like, I can't even begin to make accurate depictions about anything.
Jackson Reed is with Albany, by the way.
Mm.
So who knows if he even plays. But yeah, shout out to the Champ Series. That's all we got for you guys. Make sure you follow us on the socials at OTBLaxPod. Follow DJ on Twitter at SCS_NextGreat. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. It goes a long way for us continuing to grow the show. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Get full video episodes of OTB every single week. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Shout out to our sponsors, Kenwood Beer, Pickup, PHI Apparel Company. Go to phiapparel.co. Use code Underground for 10% off your order. We're on the horizon, ladies and gents, of lacrosse being back on our TVs. December 2nd, live stream, KB and Deej from Underground Studios, Halifax, Philadelphia. Be there. Be a friend, tell a friend. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out. And we will see you guys next week right here on the allegedly award-nominated, honorably mentioned, and of course, number 9 ranked NCAA podcast and the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast network is OTB, episode number 248. For Deej, I'm KB. Till next week, we're getting the heck out of here. Peace.
Peace.